Hey, good afternoon, and welcome to Southgate Fields at Delbarton High School in Morristown, New Jersey for Pope John Junior Lion Lacrosse. Mike Formisano here with you, calling today's game. This is the first of the season for the 7th and 8th grade Pope John Junior Lion squad as they take on the Delbarton Green Wave. We will try and get as many of these games out to you as possible throughout the season. Today starts the year for Pope John and the lacrosse squad. And let's go ahead and go over the rosters of who is on the team and who will be playing today. We will start with number 2, Aiden Hicks. Number 45 is Andrew Jessamaria. Armin DeMardoz. I'm going to try and get these names right. This is the first time I'm saying them. So Armin DeMarderosian. Does not have a number. I have not received that yet. So as we get that throughout the game, we'll add that to you. Connor Clifford, number 7. Dante Lamb is number 23. Emilio Barranco, you don't have a number for it either. That's the only other player. Everybody else has checked in with me, so we have numbers for the rest of the players. We'll start with Evan Wanamaker, number 1. Frankie Spagnola, number 8. Johnny Pippa is number 39. Hayden Marshall, number 35. Jack Seeger, number 3. Number 21 is Johnny Kranga. Number 10, Justin Perella. 22 is Kellen Nelson. 12 is Matthew Riley. Number 13, Michael Formisano. Number 15, the goaltender for Pope John today, Michael Morelli. Number 32 is Nick Boyanowski. Number 42, Ronnie Ziegler. 25 is Ryder Gervald. Number 5, Sal D'Arco. Number 20 is Steve Leonard. 44, Ty Plotz. 4 is Victor Fiore. And number 6, Zachary Kost. The head coach of the Pope John Junior Lions lacrosse squad, 7th and 8th grade, is Christian Volsa. Coaching staff, Chris Hoffman, Chuck Gervald, and Matt Emmering, and the program coordinator, Beatrice Pippa. Well, Pope John coming over to the sidelines as they get set to open their season here in 2023, taking on a Delbarton Green Wave squad that is highly touted, and we will see how Pope John matches up with them. Opening face-off here from Delbarton High School between Pope John, the Junior Lions, and the Delbarton Green Wave. Next. Welcome back to the Southgate Fields at Delbarton High School in Morristown, New Jersey for Pope John Junior Lion Lacrosse. Mike Formisano here with you, calling today's action as the Junior Lions get set to take on the Delbarton Green Wave. Delbarton already heading out to the field. Pope John in final talks with the coaches, and we will get started. This is game number 1 for Pope John starting the season. We'll try and match the names with the jersey numbers as best as possible. Pope John in their road blue uniforms trimmed by gold and white. Delbarton in their home whites trimmed by green. And again, we don't have a roster for Delbarton. We'll just call out numbers. But for Pope John, we will try and match as best as possible. Already, as we said, Michael Morelli is the goaltender for Pope John. He is number 15. And we see heading out to the field the Pope John Junior Lions, and as they go ahead and they touch the ball and they're able to move it up the field and action continues, we'll try and match as best as possible. So number 23, Dante Lamb, is going to go ahead and take the face-off, starting the game against number 30 for Delbarton. This is game number 1 for Pope John Lions 7th and 8th grade squad against the Delbarton Green Wave. Let's do it from Morristown, New Jersey. Referee's waiting. Go ahead and put down the ball, and Dante Lamb, number 23, will fight with number 30 from Delbarton for the ball. Again, in lacrosse, 3 attackers, 3 midfieldmen, 3 defense, and 1 goaltender. So a total of 10 players on the field at any given time for each team. And that's barring a man up or man down situation. We will try and describe for you as best as possible the nuances of lacrosse. And if you've seen the game for years or if this is just your first time watching, we will do the best we can to get the games to you. So here is Dante Lamb at center field at the mid-stripe line with Delbarton, number 30. Face-off. And Pope John fights for it. Lamb does win the face-off, and he picks it up and runs it upfield. Looking to set up the Pope John offense. The pass goes out to number 22 for the Lions. 22 being Nelson. Back behind the net now, over to 21. We'll do a lot of number calling initially, but we'll get these names down along with the numbers for at least the Pope John squad. Delbarton's going to be just numbers today. Here's Lamb coming in from the lower part of your screen. Attacks the net, shot on goal. And it looks like it bounced off the post there and went over to Delbarton, and they recover. So, number 13 for the Green Wave. Back to the defenseman. Number 14 passes it upfield. And it goes over to number 19 for Delbarton. Pass up to 23, just out of his reach. He recovers behind the Pope John net. Coming in. Delbarton going left to right on your screen. Pope John right to left. First quarter, no score between Pope John and Delbarton. Here's number 22 fighting for the ball. 25 for Delbarton, picks it up. Goes back around the net. And tucks it in behind Morelli. And Delbarton takes a 1-0 lead. Number 25 for Delbarton with the goal. And that will make it 1-0 Green Wave early first quarter here in Morristown. So Pope John will look to regroup. Substitutions on the field. That's number 8 coming on. Frankie Spagnola on defense. Lamb, number 23, will go back out there for the face-off. Got number 44 on his right wing, Ty Plotz. Trying to get the number for the left wing there. Shaded a little away from me, so we'll try and get a better shot. It looks like number 5, and that would be Sal Diarco. Here's a face-off, and Lamb wins it again, goes straight up the field. Passes over 21. The shot saved by the Delbarton goaltender, number 3. He passes out to his defense. Runs up the midfield. Lamb's on him, number 23 for Pope John. Over to 24. Ball comes out to 21 for the Lions. Moving the ball upfield now to 44. 44 with the shot. Saved by the Delbarton goaltender. So a second shot on this possession by Pope John. They get the ball back on a turnover. 44 with another shot. Another save by the Delbarton goalie. 2 shots on by number 44, Ty Plotz. Stymied both times. Number 25 loses it to Plotz again. Plotz comes back up the field. Plotz passes up on the left side to number 2. Now to number 3 on the wing. Over to 21. 21 with the shot, goes wide, and Delbarton and Pope John trying to run towards the ball. The rule in lacrosse is whoever's closest to the ball as it goes out of bounds on the shot will get possession. So it will go over to the Delbarton Green Wave. A shot coming in from number 3, Jack Seeger for Pope John. Delbarton has it behind their own net. They lead 1-0. Pass back to the goaltender. He can't handle it. Pope John trying to jump on that. And Delbarton's able to recover. Now goes over to number 2, and that is Aiden Hicks. Delbarton recovers. Number 16. He's fighting for it. He goes over to 22 for Pope John. 22 is Kellen Nelson. Nelson coming up on the left side. Comes in on goal. Nelson with the shot. He scores! Kellen Nelson with the first goal of the season for the Pope John Lions. And they've tied things up with Delbarton, 1 apiece. So Nelson gets Pope John on the board, and we are back to a brand new game. It's 1-1. So Lamb back out to the midfield line, right in the center for the face-off. Lamb wins it again. Ball bounces on him a little bit. He cradles it in the pocket of the lacrosse stick, or the cross. Now over to number 10. 10 with the pass, just out of the reach of number 21. Number 10, Justin Perella. Number 21, Johnny Kranga. So Delbarton will take over. We're tied at 1 here. Delbarton and Pope John. Green Wave had the ball. Goes over to number 30 now. Number 7 with it. Pass back to 30. Delbarton playing a little keep away from Pope John at this point. Here's number 19 on the left wing, to the left of Morelli, the goaltender for the Lions. 21 now trying to come in on goal. Ball's knocked out of the cross. Now 23 picks it up for Delbarton. Pass out, just eludes number 19. It looks like it's going to go out about, nope. Stops just short of the sideline. Pass over to 23. Pope John, good defense, swallowing up. Shot goes in underneath Morelli, and Delbarton takes a 2-1 lead. That ball kind of rolled in. Morelli didn't see it. It was screened on the play. And so it gets past him, and Delbarton's able to take a 2-1 lead. 2-1 Green Wave. First period, first quarter. And we'll take the face off. Action doesn't start until the referee blows his whistle. So it looked like Delbarton went in on a face-off just early, and so the infraction goes against them, and that means Pope John will take over without a face-off. So here's number 22 for the Lions, up the right side. Pass out of the reach of number 2, Hicks, and goes out of bounds. Oh, the pass from Nelson, the goal scorer for the Lions so far, goes out of the reach of Hicks, and Delbarton will take over. Well, the Green Wave play it in, right on the corner. It's knocked out of bounds by Hicks. Well, it looks like Pope John's going to go ahead and take over possession there. So Hicks gets the ball to number 3. That is Jack Seeger. 2-1 Delbarton over Pope John. We are in the first quarter here from Morristown, New Jersey. Mike Formisano here with you, calling today's action. Game number 1 for the Junior Lions, 7th and 8th grade squad, the middle school. We thank you for joining us today. The goaltender for Delbarton, number 3, goes out of his crease. He's able to throw it up the field to number 25. He's knocked down by 22. And we have an infraction on the play against Nelson, so the ball will go the other way. Here's number 19 for the Green Wave, up to 23 on the left side. Bounces off the equipment, off the mask of number 21. And that's going to go to Pope John. So there's number 1 playing it up to 44, Plotz. Ty Plotz along the right side past midfield. Pass goes over to 23. Now to 2, to Hicks. 23, that's Lamb. Dante Lamb with it. Up to 21. Johnny Kranga. Kranga runs it in. Thinks twice about it, now gives it back to Hicks. Goes behind the goal. There's number 10, Over to number 5 for Pope John. Number 5 is DeArco. Over to Lamb. Lamb with the shot over the crossbar and out of play. Pope John with the player closest to the ball, so they'll maintain possession. And there is number 3, Jack Seeger. Seeger up to Lamb. Lamb has it. Over to number 10, now to 21. Number 21 coming in for Pope John. The shot on goal. Saved by the Delbarton goaltender. And it's played by Seeger, number 3, behind the net. Seeger coming in on the Delbarton defense. The pass just out of the reach and goes back to midfield. Pope John defense jumps on it. The referee's call an infraction against Pope John, so it'll be Delbarton ball. Number 23 for the Green Wave up. Coming into the center field section in the high slot. Now over to number 21. Pope John trails 2-1 here in the first quarter. Shot on goal goes wide of Morelli and the Pope John goal. Possession over to Delbarton. They'll maintain. Number 5 for Pope John DeArco on the Delbarton forward. Number 19. 19, number 23, also 21 on the attack. Saved by Morelli. It's taken by 22, up to 44. Ty Plotz. Plotz moves up the field, across the center field stripe. Plotz coming in. Plotz to 21, the shot on goal. Saved by the Delbarton goaltender. And he'll hand it off to the defense. There's number 25 with it for Delbarton. Shot in on Morelli, makes the save, and he'll pass it right out over to Plotz, who crosses center field. Comes into Delbarton territory. Plotz winds up, fires, just missed on the right post. And that is the end of the first quarter. So, Delbarton able to get 2 goals on the board. Pope John did have one in between from number 22, Kellen Nelson. And after one quarter here at Delbarton High School, it's the Green Wave over Pope John 2-1. We'll be back with second quarter action from Morristown right after this. Welcome back to Delbarton High School at the Southgate Fields in Morristown, New Jersey. For Pope John Junior Lion Lacrosse, Mike Formisano here with you, calling today's action. Thank you for joining us. We will switch sides now as Pope John will go left to right on your screen. The Lions in their road blue uniforms trimmed by gold and white. Delbarton in their home whites trimmed by green. Delbarton with the 2-1 lead as we go into the second quarter. It will be the centerman, Lamb, taking the face-off again against number 30 for Delbarton. Pope John with a good period, hanging in there. Only down by 1 at this point in time. 2-1, Delbarton leads. Here's the face-off. Lamb wins it again, goes forward with it. Can't cradle the ball, however. And so Delbarton will take over possession. There's number 16 up the field to 25. We got a whistle by the referee. And infraction on the field. And it'll go the other way. Pope John will take over. So the Lions will start on offense here as we begin this second quarter after the turnover from the faceoff. There's number 32 for Pope John, Nick Boyanowski. He loses it. Delbarton's able to jump on it. That's number 30 for the Green Wave. Pass across field. The shot. He scores. Oh, Delbarton. Oh, we're trying to get a number on that. Looks like number 21 for the Green Wave. Puts it in behind Michael Morelli. And Delbarton jumps out to a 3-1 lead. So, Lamb back out to center field to take the face-off. Now, Plotz on his right, number 44, and number 22, Kellen Nelson on the left. Here's the face-off. Lamb doesn't win it cleanly, and we've got a whistle, and it's going to go Delbarton's way. The Green Wave take over. Here's number 30 with it. It's knocked down by Pope John. There's Plotz. Plotz trying to pick it up. Can't get to it. Now over to 22, and that's Nelson. Kellen Nelson up the field. Again, the Lions in their road blues going left to right on your screen. Pass goes over to number 21, Johnny Kranga. Kranga on the left side. Trying to come in on the defense. Get to the center of the field. The shot deflected. Goes to the goaltender, number 3, and he'll cradle it. And gets it back from his defense. And Delbarton will set up their offense. Goaltender coming out of his crease. Towards midfield. Pass over to number 16 as the goaltender retreats. Now here's 25. Shot just over the crossbar. And number 21 from Delbarton closest to the ball as it goes out of bounds. So the Green Wave will maintain possession. 3-1. Delbarton leads second quarter over Pope John. Number 21 coming back around. Pass in front to 25. Fire, save by Morelli. Great save by Michael Morelli, number 15. Ball's loose. Plotz trying to jump on it. Delbarton fighting for it as well. We got a whistle by the referees. Cross check. We'll see who it's called on. It looks to be on Pope John, so Delbarton will keep it deep in the Lions' end. Substitutions in. Number 25 out for the Lions. And number 22 in. Gerald Ryder, number 25 out. And number 22, Kellen Nelson in for Pope John. Over to number 25, Delbarton, a shot. He scores. So Delbarton with their 4th goal of the game. Number 25 for the Green Wave. And it puts Delbarton up 4-1 on Pope John. So 2 quick goals by Delbarton here in the early part of the second quarter. It's giving them a little bit of breathing room. Number 24 for the Green Wave will take the face off. It looks to be against Lamb. Lamb does win it. Dante Lamb, number 23 for Pope John. He runs it up the field. He's got number 4 on his right wing, and that is Victor Fiore. Lamb passes it to Fiore. Fiore now behind the net to number 7. That's Connor Clifford. Clifford to 21. 21's Kranga, Johnny Kranga. Now to Nelson. Pope John leading the charge. That's number 3. Falls down, and Delbarton's able to take possession. That was Jack Seeger for the Lions. 24 has it now from Delbarton. They run the field. Pass in front. And he's decked by number 32 for Pope John. We got a whistle. We got a flag. And that's going to be an infraction against number 32 for Pope John, Nick Boyanowski. He leveled the attacker for Delbarton. Substitutions for Pope John, number 1 off the field. That golden helmet there, Evan Wanamaker. And number 8 in for Pope John, Frankie Spagnola. So Delbarton will start in Pope John territory. We're in the second quarter, and they lead 4-1 over the Pope John Lions. We are coming to you live from the Southgate Fields at Delbarton High School in Morristown, New Jersey. Mike Formisano here, calling the action for you this afternoon, and thank you for joining us. Game number 1 of the season for the Pope John Lions 7th and 8th grade squad. So the referee's getting the exact position of where Delbarton will start the ball with, and now they wind the clock as play resumes, and number 21 with it for the Green Wave. We'll try and get rosters for opposing teams as much as possible this year. Game number 1, nothing was posted, so. Number 25 with the shot, he scores over the left shoulder, or right shoulder, I should say, of Michael Morelli. And that will give the Green Wave a 5-1 lead. So the face-off at center field between Lamb and number 30 for Delbarton. Lamb winning another face-off. Good win by Dante Lamb, number 23. He leads the charge up the field. Pass over to 21 for Pope John. He's knocked off the ball briefly, but gets it back, however. Kranga, 21 with it. Pass up to Nelson, 22 for Pope John. Now over to 3. That's Seeger. Jack Seeger to number 25. Over to number 4. Now to 7. We will get these names down as best as possible. Here's Clifford. Clifford back to 21. Kranga passes it up to Nelson. Nelson in the center of the field. Coming in on Delbarton defense. He breaks it all alone. The shot. He scores! Number 22. Kellen Nelson with his second goal of the game. And that pulls Pope John closer. It's now 5-2 Delbarton. Oh, pretty goal by Kellen Nelson. That's tally number 2 for him today. Broke right through the Delbarton defense. Came in all alone on the goaltender. And is able to go ahead and put it home into the back of the cage. 5-2, Delbarton leads over Pope John. Although the Lions hoping that Nelson's goal there gives them a little bit of a breath of life. Get them back into this game. Here's Lamb with the faceoff against number 24. Faceoff won by Lamb. Takes it into the Delbarton end. Now to 21 to Kranga. A shot. Save by the Delbarton goalie. Pressure up by Kranga on the Delbarton goaltender. He's running around the defense. Goaltender, goalkeeper. Different terms. Here's number 23 for Pope John. Coming in the shot. He scores! Number 23, Dante Lamb with the shot past the Delbarton goalie. And now Pope John with new life. They now trail 5-3. Again, if I missed anything on the screen, if there's anybody who's watching, and I can't see the scoreboard from my vantage point, so I'm just going with what I remember as I broadcast this, and I don't have a vision of the clock either, so I know it's the second quarter, and from the goals I've counted, it's 5-3 Delbarton now over at Pope John. If there's ever any corrections, just type them in on the bottom of the screen, and I will make a note of that. Scrum for the ball between Delbarton and Pope John. It looks like Pope John's going to come out with it. Well, that's not a definite. It does actually go over to Delbarton, to number 7. And Lamb and number 13, Michael Formisano, fighting for it. So the ball does go over to Delbarton, but we got a timeout on the field. Timeout on the field, second quarter, here from Delbarton High School. It's 5-3 Green Wave over the Pope John Lions. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Delbarton High School at the Southgate Fields in Morristown, New Jersey for Pope John Junior Lion Lacrosse. Mike Formasano here with you, calling today's action as Pope John, getting a couple of goals here midway in the second quarter, have pulled back into a close game with Delbarton. They now trail only 5-3 as we are heading towards the tail end of the second quarter. Delbarton will take possession as we start up again after the timeout. Here's number 25 leading the charge up the field into Pope John territory. Falls down, gets back up, loses the ball as Plotz checks him off of it. Gets it back, 25, right in on goal. The shot he scores. Just came barreling through, was able to get a close shot on Morelli, and was able to put it behind the Pope John goalkeeper. And so now that widens the Delbarton lead to 6-3. So you would say the past few minutes, Pope John with a bit of momentum going their way. We'll see if that stymies it or if they can bounce back from letting in that goal and get back on a scoring streak. Goals come quickly in lacrosse. You can see 2, 3, 4 in a given minute or two, and then go sometimes a period without seeing more than 3 or 4. Or less. Here's the face-off between number 30 for Delbarton and number 23, Dante Lamb for Pope John. Delbarton wins it. Checked by Plotz. Plotz and Lamb on him. Delbarton pushes the ball forward to number 25. He's got Plotz on him. Plotz checking with the stick. The shot on goal. Save, Morelli. Good save by the Pope John netminder. And the ball goes over to the right side of the field. High up. Number 21 with it. Now behind the net. Delbarton trying to set up their offense. You've got number 32, Boyanowski on him. Nick Boyanowski. Delbarton trying to come in. Checked off the ball by number 12. And that is Matthew Riley. And the ball goes out to Boyanowski. And Pope John is able to move it up the field. Now to Nelson, 22. Over to Kranga. Johnny Kranga, number 21. Again, we'll get these names right. Here's number 3, Jack Seeger. It's a long season. Over to number 5. Now to 4. And over to 7, Connor Clifford. Clifford with it behind the Delbarton net. To Kranga. Kranga from the left side trying to center himself. Can't get through the Delbarton defense. Now to Seeger. Seeger with the pass to number 5, Diarco. Sal loses it there. Picks it back up. Now to pass back to Jack Seeger. Seeger at the top of the offensive formation for Pope John. Substitutions in. Diarco leaves and replaced by number 23, Dante Lamb. Here's Lamb with the ball. Lamb trying to come in and cut through the defense. Can't do so. Pulls it back. Pass to Seeger. Seeger with a shot. Save by the Delbarton goaltender. And a pass over to defense number 8. He loses it. We got a whistle on the play. And it's going to be Pope John ball. So Pope John will take over here late in the second quarter. Referees start the clock again. Here's Kranga with it. Kranga back up to Seeger. Seeger to Lamb. Lamb at the top of the offense. Top of the field. Now over to number 4. And that is Fiore. Victor Fiore. The ball goes out of bounds, but Clifford was closest. So Pope John will retain possession. Pass out to Kranga. On the left side. Looking to break in on the Delbarton goal. Here's the shot. Tipped by number 22, Nelson. Clifford picks it up. 30 seconds to go in the first half. Pass back out to Kranga just over his stick. Now remember, those two players at midfield on the other side of the line, they can't come across as they are. Here's the shot. He scores! Number 21, Johnny Kranga, puts Pope John on the board late in the second quarter and cuts the lead to 6-4, Delbarton. Oh, Kranga right at the top of the key was able to go ahead and blister that pass to Delbarton goaltender. And so Pope John now has cut the Delbarton lead to 2, 6-4. So I was saying before Kranga set up for that shot and eventual goal, the way that the lacrosse field works is that if you have attackers on the other side of the field, they can't come back into defense. 3 players have to stay on one side for the offense, as well as your 3 defenders if you're defending. So Pope John had their defensemen right up at the midfield line, but they couldn't cross, just like Delbarton. So they were just waiting there, see if the ball would come to the line. It didn't. Kranga was able to get it, and he was able to score and make it 6-4, Delbarton over Pope John. Here's the pass up to Nelson. Nelson in front of the shot. He scores! Kellen Nelson was able to put Pope John behind by just 1. 6-5, Delbarton leads. And that's halftime as the Pope John Junior Lions get back into this one. It is 6-5, Delbarton. We are at halftime. We'll be back to the Southgate Fields at Delbarton High School for second half action between the Pope John Lions and the Delbarton Green Wave right after this. Michael. Just to confirm, 6'5", right? 6'5"? 6'5"? Welcome back to Delbarton High School in Morristown, New Jersey for Pope John Junior Lion Lacrosse. Mike Formasano here with you, calling this afternoon's action. Got a good game here between Delbarton, the Green Wave, and the Pope John Lions. Delbarton jumping out to a 4-1 lead in the early part of the second quarter, but Pope John has been digging and clawing and found a way back into this one. 2 late goals in the last minute, capped off by Kellen Nelson's 3rd goal of the game, a hat trick for him, just as before the buzzer sounds, and it gets Pope John closer into this game. They now trail only 6-5, as we'll be heading into the second half in just moments. Let's go over the roster again for Pope John so that everybody has names and numbers to match. We'll start with Aiden Hickson, he's number 2. Andrew Jessamine is number 45. Armin Dermar DeRosian We don't have a number for him yet, so don't have a number for Emilio Barranco either, but we will get those for you as we go on, hopefully by tomorrow's game. And tomorrow's game, by the way, will be against Kumpf Middle School. The Kumpf Cougars, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Kumpf. So Kumpf Middle School, the Cougars, as Pope John will head there for game number 2, and that's tomorrow afternoon. We'll be with you for that game, and as many games as we can be this season, especially as Pope John will be returning home hopefully soon after that. The schedule will be online, and we'll be able to go ahead and get to as many of those as possible. But for right now, they are in a heated battle with Delbarton. Let's continue with the roster. Number 7 is Connor Clifford. Number 23, Dante Lamb. Number 1, Evan Wanamaker. Frankie Spagnola is number 8. Johnny Pippa, number 39. Hayden Marshall, number 35. Jack Seeger, number 3. Johnny Kranga, number 21. Justin Perella, number 10. Kelly Nelson, number 22. 3 goals today for Nelson. Matthew Riley, number 12. Michael Formisano, number 13. 15, the goaltender, Michael Morelli. Goaltender, goalkeeper. We'll try and clarify the proper term. They call it a goalkeeper in soccer. They call it a goaltender in hockey. I never got the definition, even watching lacrosse all these years. I'm so used to hockey. So, anyway, in goal is Michael Morelli. Nick Boyanowski, number 32. Number 42 is Ronnie Ziegler. 25, Ryder Gervald. Number 5, Sal Diarco. Number 20 is Steve Leonard. 44, Ty Plotz. 4 is Victor Fiore. And number 6, Zachary Kost. And if I have any pronunciations wrong, please correct me later on as you see me before tomorrow's game. The head coach of the Pope John Junior Lions 7th and 8th grade squad is Christian Vosa. Coaching staff, Chris Hoffman, Chuck Gervald, and Matt Emmering. And the program coordinator is Petrus Pippa. Second half, we start. Pope John going right to left on your screen. They trail 6-5 against the Delbarton Green Wave. Dante Lamb, number 23, will be taking the face-off. Pope John in their blue road uniforms trimmed by white and gold. Delbarton in their home whites trimmed by green. All the more appropriate for a team with the nickname Green Wave. So we got a close one as we head into the second half here. Starting in the third quarter between Pope John and Delbarton. Here's the face-off. And it's won by Lamb. He's able to pick it up and cradle it. Wins, and he goes into Delbarton territory. Lamb with the pass right in front, the shot. He scores! Lamb with the pass to number 3, Jack Seeger, and Seeger's able to tuck it into the goal. Pass the Green Wave goaltender. We got a brand new game here in Morristown. It's 6-6. Well, a nice goal by number 3, Jack Seeger. He's able to take the pass from Lamb and just tuck it in right behind the goaltender and evens this game up. His face-off, Lamb wins it. He'll go forward with it. Checked there by number 30 for Delbarton. But he carries it into the Green Wave territory. Again, Pope John going right to left. Delbarton left to right on your screen. Here's Lamb. He'll flip it to number 22, Nelson. Nelson with 3 goals so far in the game. Nelson with the pass behind the net to Seeger. Seeger has it. Runs around the Delbarton goal from behind. He's checked there. Maintains possession. Pass out to number 10 for Pope John. Now over to 21, Johnny Kranga. Kranga coming in from the top of the key. Kranga's got a defenseman on him. Now the pass goes back to number 10. Over to Seeger. Number 10, Justin Perella. Here's Seeger with the pass in to the Pope John attacker. He's surrounded by 4 Delbarton players. That's Nelson. Nelson back out to Kranga. Kranga coming in on one defenseman. The shot on goal. Saved by the Delbarton goalkeeper. Goalie trying to figure out who to pass to. It's intercepted by number 41 for Pope John. I don't have a name there. I'm wondering if that's one of the 2 players I don't have a number for. So here's number 21 for Delbarton as they're able to get the ball back. Delbarton coming in, the shot on goal, just wide of the left post. And Morelli races after it to try and be closest to it, but is not able to do so as number 25 was there for the Green Wave. So Delbarton will maintain possession. Yeah, number 41 is one of the two numbers I do not have on my sheet, so I'm wondering if it's either Armin Dermar DeRosian or Emilio Barranco. I'm going to have to practice that name. My apologies. Try and get it as right as possible. Here's number 25 right in on the net. He misses the left post. It's knocked down by Morelli, and Morelli's able to freeze it right in front of the goal line and pick it up and pass it over to Plotz. Ty Plotz, number 44 for Pope John, will carry it up the field. Weaving his way through the Delbarton defense. Goes into the Green Wave territory. Plotz coming in. Long stick the shot. Saved by the Delbarton goalie. Goes out of bounds, and Pope John will maintain possession. Third quarter, we are tied 6-6 between the Delbarton Green Wave and the Pope John Junior Lions. Here is Kranga coming in. Shot goes wide and out of play, and Pope John closest to the ball, so they will maintain possession. And the Lions bring it out to the field. There's Seeger with it, number 3, over to Kranga, 21. Kranga has it on the left side. Coming in on the Green Wave defense. Over to number 23. That is Dante Lamb. Lamb does a 360. Down a shot wide of the net. And it goes out of bounds. Pope John will maintain. We are tied at 6 here from Delbarton High School in Morristown, New Jersey at the Southgate Fields. Delbarton has either led or been tied the whole way, but Pope John has clawed their way back into this one, into a 6-6 tie. Here's Seeger with the pass trying to get it to Nelson. Was knocked down by number 8 of Delbarton. 2 or 3 defenders on him, and they're able to poke it away. Ball's up in the air, and Lamb will recover it. Dante Lamb for Pope John. He'll settle it down, passes over to Kranga. Kranga twirling his stick with the ball, calling for the forwards to come to him. Setting up the new play. Substitution out, number 41 out of the game for Pope John, number 25 in. We got a whistle. And the ball's going to go over to Delbarton. So number 3 picks it up for the Green Wave. He's knocked out of bounds. A slash, and it'll be a penalty. Penalty, I believe, is going to be on Pope John for a slash. So that will give Delbarton a man advantage for 1 minute. Slashing right on the sidelines, and so the Green Wave will take possession inside Pope John territory. Here's number 21 for Delbarton. Pass over to 25. Now to 30. Back to 25 at the top of the key. Here's number 16. It's knocked out of his stick. Picked up by Plotz, number 44 for Pope John. He's got 3 Delbarton defenders on him, but he's able to turn left and run out of it, and he carries it up the field. He's able to waste some time on that penalty to Pope John. Now Plotz coming up. Pass over to 35, just out of his reach. Here's number 2, Hicks after it for the Lions. Number 35 is Hayden Marshall. Number 2, Aiden Hicks. So here's Hicks over to Seeger. Seeger back to Hicks. Stays in bounds, so Hicks will pick it up. Now to pass to number 23. That's Lamb. Lamb over to Kranga. Johnny Kranga, number 21, coming in on Delbarton defense. Inching closer to the goal. The shot goes wide and out of bounds. And number 3, Jack Seeger, was closest to the ball, so Pope John will maintain possession. We're in the third quarter. Only 1 goal here in the third, and it was from Pope John. Jack Seeger has knotted things up 6-6. Here's the pass in front. The shot. He scores! Hayden Marshall puts the Pope John Lions up 7-6. Takes the pass right in front of the goal. Marshall's able to sneak it in. Pass to Delbarton goalkeeper. So Marshall's goal will give Pope John a 7-6 lead. So Pope John leads for the first time today. 7-6. Lions on top of the Green Wave. Midway through the third quarter. So Lamb will take the face-off, number 23 for Pope John against Delbarton's number 30. Here's the face-off. It's won by Lamb. We got a whistle. Pope John's going to maintain possession. Here's Plotz across the midfield line. The referee winds up the clock. We're back underway. Here's Hicks, number 2. Hicks behind the net to Seeger. That's number 3. See, I'm starting to get the names. Number 21, Kranga on the left side. Pass in front to Hicks. It's deflected down by Delbarton, and they will maintain, or they'll get possession from Pope John. Across the midfield line, here's number 30 for the Green Wave. Now over to number 7. The 7 to pass to 23. The shot, he scores. Right on top of Morelli, just outside the crease. And we have a brand new game here in Morristown as the Green Wave, who are trailing for the first time today, have evened things up again, 7-all. We are late third quarter. It's now 7-7, Pope John and Delbarton. And a good matchup between these two Catholic school teams. Tomorrow, Pope John will head to Kumpf Middle School, right around the corner from Morristown. May actually be in Morristown, I'm not sure. But it'll be against the Kumpf Cougars. Please join us for that game tomorrow afternoon. I believe the start time is 4:30. Check your listings. Here's Plotz. Plotz going into the Delbarton zone. The shot on goal. He scores! Ty Plotz rips it past the Green Wave goaltender. And Pope John back up 8-7. Big goal for Plotz. Is able to put Pope John back up in this one just after Delbarton had tied things up at 7. Pope John's 8th goal of the game. They lead by 1 late third quarter. Here's Lamb will take the face-off. Now he's called out of it, so Delbarton will just take the ball up. We start the clock, and here comes the Green Wave. Number 3 coming in on Lamb. Just outside the box, now he pulls it back. Lamb on number 3. Pass in front to 23. The shot, he scores. Just underneath the crossbar past Morelli. And Delbarton has tied things up 8 apiece. You see the depth and the talent on this Delbarton squad hanging right with Pope John. 2 evenly matched teams in this afternoon scrum. Delbarton and Pope John. We are tied at 8. Here's Lamb with the face-off against number 30 for Delbarton. It's picked up by Plotz, number 44. Plotz takes it against 4 Delbarton defenders. He breaks away. Coming into the Green Wave zone, the shot on goal. Save by the goaltender. And it's a new goaltender for Delbarton in this. It's number 1. So it was number 3 earlier. Now the goaltending duties have been taken over by number 1 for Delbarton. But again, we don't have names, so we'll just go with the numbers. We got an infraction on the play. Looks to be against Pope John. And so Delbarton will take possession of the ball. Yep. So 1-minute penalty against Pope John, their second penalty of the game. And so Delbarton will have a man advantage for the next minute. Late third quarter, 8-8 between Delbarton and Pope John. Mike Formisano here from the Southgate Fields at Delbarton High School in Morristown, New Jersey. Referee's talking things over. Oh, so we actually have a white penalty, so it's going to be against Delbarton. So the penalty against Delbarton now is actually longer than what the Pope John penalty would be, so it's actually going to change things up here. So we'll try and get what the referees are saying. We're a little high up here on a cliff above the field, best vantage point, away from the fans. Don't want to go ahead and be broadcasting while the fans are around, everything. Don't want to interrupt the game for them. Try not to interrupt the game for the players and coaches, obviously, as well. So we're up here on the cliff, trying to get what the announcements are by the referees, and we'll roll with it as best we can. Got a heck of a game going on here. Late third quarter, 8-8, Delbarton and Pope John. All right, so it looks like Delbarton's going to start with possession as we resume play here. I count 7, I count 8 Pope John Lions on the field. I think Delbarton has a man up. Here's number 25 coming in on goal. The shot on goal, he scores. He's able to slide that right past Michael Morelli. And Delbarton has regained the lead, 9-8 on Pope John. So, for a while there, the Lions were either holding the lead or it was tied. And Delbarton's able to turn things around and get it back to where it was earlier in the game, where they held the lead for most of actually all of the first half. 9-8, Delbarton leads. Pope John looking to rebound and get this game tied again. Here's Lamb with the face-off against number 30 there, fighting for it in the scrum. And it's picked up by Nelson, now goes over to Lamb. Lamb has it, coming in on 3 defenders for Delbarton. Pass in front, shot on goal. He scores! Jack Seeger buries it past the goalkeeper of Delbarton. And we're back tied at 9. Oh, neither team able to get away from the other as Delbarton goes up by a goal. And Pope John answers right back. Tied at 9 here, late third quarter. Lamb will take the draw against number 30 for the Green Wave. Lamb wins it. 30 all over him. Lamb goes to the right side, comes up. Passes it to Hicks. Hayden Hicks out to Seeger, number 3, who just scored the goal to tie the game at 9. Over to Johnny Kranga. Kranga with it now, coming in on number 14 for Delbarton. Here's a pass, 22. There's Nelson. Nelson, top of the key, gives it over to Hicks. Hicks. Back to number 3, that's Seeger. Seeger to Kranga. Kranga on the left, coming towards the center. Inching his way to the goal, trying to get past the defense, but can't do so. Here's Fiore, number 4, over to Nelson. Nelson, 22, to Hicks, number 2. Hicks with the shot. Just bounces wide, and it looks like Pope John's going to pick it up. That is number 3, Seeger, as time expires here. Signaling the end of the third quarter. The horn sounds, and we have a tie game. 9-9, Delbarton and Pope John as we head to the fourth quarter. We'll be back with fourth quarter action here between the Pope John Lions and the Delbarton Green Wave right after this. Welcome back to Delbarton High School in Morristown, New Jersey. From Pope John Junior Lion Lacrosse, Mike Formosano here calling today's action. Thanks for joining us. We got one heck of a game going into the fourth quarter. We are tied at 9 between the Lions and the Green Wave. Pope John now going left to right on your screen there in their road blue uniforms trimmed by gold and white. Delbarton in their home whites trimmed by green. They're going right to left on your screen. So, 3 goals by Kellen Nelson in this game has led the way for Pope John. Slew of other players with goals as well, and it's 9-9 between Pope John and Delbarton as we head into the fourth quarter. Very evenly matched teams going at it. Delbarton will make the return trip to Pope John in May, and we'll see what happens between those two teams at that time and how the season progresses. But right now, if this is the level of play that we can expect from both these teams, they should be at or near the top of the standings, I would think, all season long. 23 pushes numbers 5 off the ball for Lacrosse for Pope John. That was number 23, Dante Lamb. Scrum for the ball is picked up by Krangen, number 21. Over to Lamb, just over his stick, and lands about 2 feet away from him, but he picks it right back up, and he gets the ball over to number 44, Ty Plotz. Plotz with it, gives it over to Lamb. Lamb leading the charge in, the shot on goal, saved by the Delbarton goalkeeper, number 1, and he'll hold on to it. He's got Seeger behind him, but he passes it out to number 14 on the left side. Forechecking by number 2, Aiden Hicks. Hicks is able to get in front of 16, trying to recover the ball, and he does so. Passes it out to Plotz. Here comes Ty Plotz. The pass in front. The shot. He scores! Jack Seeger with a behind-the-back shot on the Delbarton goal, and he gives Pope John a 10-9 lead. Nice shot by Seeger, just tucking it in, going behind the back with it. And Pope John's able to go up 10-9. So a good way for the Lions to start this fourth quarter as they retake the lead against Delbarton 10-9. Here's the face-off by Lamb against number 3 for Delbarton. Dante Lamb running up the field, the shot on goal, he scores! Dante Lamb gives the Lions a 2-goal lead. So, offensive explosion here by Pope John. Lamb makes it a 2-goal cushion for Pope John. We're in the early fourth quarter here, and the Lions up on the Delbarton Green Wave, 11-9 in game number 1 of the season for the Pope John Junior Lions. Lamb will take the face-off against number, I think it's 24 for Delbarton. Still fighting for the ball right at the midfield point. Delbarton player falls down 24. The ball goes over to Lamb. Good recovery by Dante Lamb. Lamb coming up to the box. Now on the right side. Pass over to Plotz. It was tipped by number 5 for Delbarton, so Plotz couldn't field it cleanly. Now Plotz fakes to Formosano, gives it over to Kranga. Kranga on the left side. Kranga will come back up to the top. He'll settle things down. He's got number 10 on his right side. That's Justin Perella. Formosano, number 13 on the left. The shot! He scores! Johnny Kranga is able to put Pope John up by 3. 12-9, Pope John up on Delbarton. So, Pope John putting a stranglehold on the Green Wave here in this fourth quarter. They've opened up a 12-9 advantage. So Lamb will take the face-off. He got Plotz to his right, Formosano to his left. A 3-goal lead for Pope John as Lamb will take the face-off against number 24 for Delbarton. Substitution in for Plotz, number 39 on the field. That's Johnny Pippa. So Pippa and Formisano with Lamb as they charge up the field. Ball loose just in front of the Delbarton box. And the Green Wave able to take it. That's number 24. Leads the charge up the field. 24. It's tipped away. I think Formisano got a piece of it. Possibly number 1, Evan Wanamaker as well. Ball's loose. Delbarton's able to pick it up. That's number 21. Wanamaker on him. Number 1. Pippa also playing in the middle of the defense. Wanamaker. Tight on number 21. Trying to get the shot in. Can't get it loose. It's taken away by Pippa, but there's Delbarton picking it up again. So number 24 over to 25. We've got a whistle. We're going to see what the call is. Referees blow the whistle. So a slash on Wanamaker for Pope John. And that will give Delbarton a man advantage. We're in the middle of the fourth quarter here. And Pope John with a 12-9 lead on the Delbarton Green Wave. Mike Formisano here from the Southgate Fields at Delbarton Academy, Delbarton High School in Morristown, New Jersey. Thank you for joining us. Game number 1, which should be a promising season for Pope John. They look great today, sticking around with Delbarton and eventually getting the lead in the third quarter. Gave it up once before to 9-8 as Delbarton was able to go back up. But since then, it's been 4 unanswered by the Pope John Lions. Here's number 30 for Delbarton, the 25. Shot in, the 23. He intercepted that as it came in on Morelli. He was trying to get his shot closer to the net. And that gave Pope John the opportunity to take the ball over. Ty Plotz, number 44, with a long stick, was able to freeze it on the side of the corner. But Delbarton will take possession again. Here's number 21. Over to 25. Top of the box. Gives it over to 30. Back to 25. Up top. Breaking through the Pope John defense. The shot goes wide. And a race to the ball. It's going to be Delbarton's ball. So Delbarton will maintain possession. Again, midway through the fourth quarter, I do not have the clock in my vision, so my apologies. But it is mid-fourth quarter, and Pope John up by 3. Here's number 25 over to 21. We should get some sort of announcement, I would think, from the sideline as soon as we get closer to, like, the last minute or so. We had it for the first half. Here's number 21 to the top right side for Delbarton. Green Wave passing it around. Here's 25 with the shot. Goes wide and off the back fence. Green Wave will maintain possession. Pope John with a good bend but not break defense here in this midway fourth quarter. 21. And Plotz knocks it loose. Delbarton gets it back, however. Green Wave trying to hold on to possession there. Ball's knocked over to number 25 for Delbarton. He settles it down. Green Wave down by 3. They're going to have to race to put some points on the board here in order to get back into this one. Pope John Lions lead by 3, 12-9, midway through the fourth. Shot goes over the crossbar and out of bounds. Delbarton will maintain possession. Referee starts the clock. Here's number 23 for Delbarton behind the Pope John net. There's number 32 for Pope John, number 45 on him. Picked up by Morelli inside the crease. We get a push, and it's going to be against Pope John. So Delbarton will maintain possession. There's number 32, Nick Boyanowski, and number 45, Andrew Jessamaria. Both defenders in on that for Pope John. Number 16 for Delbarton. On the right side of the goal, now goes behind. Green Wave setting up their play. Now 25 with the ball up top. Over the crossbar again and off the back fence. Delbarton with the player closest, so they will maintain possession. Trying to sneak a look at the clock. 3:08 to go. 3 minutes, 8 seconds to go here, fourth quarter. Pope John leading over Delbarton 12-9. Here's the ball behind. And number 26 will take it. Turns back around to the left. Number 8 on him. Delbarton to the left side of the goal, trying to find a way to squeeze in. Back to number 26. Frankie Spagnola on him. Ball comes out to number 12. Number 25. Pass over to 26 on the right side. Pass comes down to 21 on the right. Spagnola with the stick check. Shot on goal. Save, Borelli! Is able to keep that out there, Spagnola. And he gets checked. Looks to be Pope John ball, I think. Penalty against number 23. Yeah, number 23 for Pope John. Dante Lamb, cross-check. And so Delbarton will go up man advantage. But the clock is winding down. And the Green Wave's still down by 3. So Pope John trying to close this out here. Would be a great first win for them to start the season. Pass up to number 25. Now over to number 16. Shot on goal. Goes wide and off the back fence. And Pope John, as the closest players today, will take possession. Good defensive stand by the Lions. Here's number 22, Nelson with it. Nelson passes it up to Plotz. Plotz racing up midfield into Delbarton territory. Pope John leads 12-9. Ball comes into the Delbarton crease, and number 1 will take possession of it before the Lions can recover. 3-goal lead for Pope John here, late fourth quarter at Delbarton Academy and Delbarton High School. Here's number 25 with it for Delbarton. The Green Wave moving in. Intercepted by Plotz, and Plotz will race back up the field. Here's Ty Plotz with it. Settling down the offense, taking his time, shot on goal. He scores! Ty Plotz buries it past the goalkeeper of Delbarton. And the Lions jump out to a 13-9 lead. Great goal by Plotz. And the Pope John Lions putting an exclamation point on this one, leading by 4 late in the fourth quarter. 1 minute, 22 seconds to go. So Lamb will take the face-off at center field against number 24 for Delbarton. What a gritty, gutty effort by Pope John this afternoon here at Delbarton High School to hang around with the Green Wave all throughout the first half, cut the lead to 6-5 just as the first half was ending, take over the lead in the early third, lose it again, and then unanswered 5 goals for Pope John to take a stranglehold 13-9 lead. Here's Lamb. He wins another face-off. Great draw work by Dante Lamb today. Lamb on the right side. Lamb coming up the field. He's got number 35, Hayden Marshall, with him. Lamb goes behind the net. Closing in on a minute to go here in the fourth quarter. You got number 8 for Delbarton on him. Lamb behind the net. Lamb trying to get around defense. Pass out. Goes over to number 4. That is Victor Fiore. We got a whistle. And it looks like infraction against Pope John, so Delbarton will take over. So the Green Wave going to try and race up the field and start something, try and get back into this. They are down by 4, so it is desperation time for the Green Wave. It's number 24 racing up the field. Coming into the center, the shot on goal just goes wide to the left post and out of bounds. Delbarton will maintain possession. 34 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. The Green Wave inching up towards the goal, right in front. It's intercepted by Plotz. We got a whistle. And it looks like it's going to go back over to Delbarton. Here's number 16 with it on the right side. Clock winds again. We go below 30 seconds. Ball goes back out to midfield. Will cross the line. Yes, it does. Kick back to Delbarton. We got a whistle. And I believe it's going to be Pope John. No, it's going to be Delbarton ball. So the Green Wave leading up the field is number 10. The shot comes in, knocked down, and it's taken over by Pope John. It's number 33. We don't have a name for number 33. It's going to be number 12 moving it up over to 23. Shot on goal, saved by Delbarton. The Pope John Lions, kings of the lacrosse field today, and it's good to be a king. The Lions defeat the Delbarton Green Wave. Final score, 13-9. Wow, terrific effort by Pope John to win this first game of the season against Delbarton. And that puts the Lions up to a record of 1-0 as they go into the remainder of their schedule. Meanwhile, Delbarton drops to 0-1, taking a tough opening day defeat at home. So the Lions will move on to tomorrow, where they'll take on Kumpf Middle School and the Cougars. That's another road game for Pope John, and we'll be with you for that tomorrow afternoon. Final score, once again, from Delbarton High School. The Pope John Lions defeat the Delbarton Green Wave, 13-9. For everyone here in Morristown, New Jersey, it's Mike Formasano saying thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Have a good night, everyone.